Hey watch fans, Brad and Brent Miller, and today I thought it'd be fun to just take a look at two integrated style bracelet models we currently have in stock with this 39mm Omega Constellation and the 38mm Tudor Royal. I wish I had the black dial on the Royal, but I just don't have that in stock, so we're going to have to kind of compare these two different shades of dials here, but I think nonetheless it'll be a good comparison to the integrated cases. So I did measure the cases and came up with an even 39 on the Constellation and 38.1. So again, pretty true, 39 to 38 on these two models. The Constellation is 12.8 millimeters thick versus the Royal at 10.7. So pretty thin on the Royal. Give you an idea of kind of how they are shaped. Lug to lug, again, because of the integrated style of these bracelets, the Constellation was 45.6, and I measured that from the widest point right here on that kind of like polished piece. So 45.6 compared to 45 on this Tudor Royal. And the biggest difference on the bracelet, really, when you're looking at the lug to lug, is the Tudor just drapes completely underneath, whereas the Constellation does kind of bulge out a little bit. And so when I took the measurement here, you were looking at 50.9. Again, it drapes down pretty far, so I don't think you really see it on the wrist, but in comparison, just to kind of see what you're looking at there on the two of those. Both of them 24 millimeters, we'll call it the lug width, but at the case, where the bracelet meets the case, you know, obviously you have two finer links that connect here on the Tudor versus just a straight, flat kind of lining up on the case here on the Omega. However, on the Omega, we have a 24 tapering down to a butterfly style clasp that is 18, tapering down to 18, 24 to 18. On the Tudor, we have a more drastic taper. It actually goes from 24 down to 16. I do have the tape still on here. The only part that pops back out to 18 is the very part of that clasp. So for the most part, it's at 16. So we do have a finer, or a thinner, I should say, bracelet here on the Tudor. You know, the biggest difference is obviously when you get into the movements. The Tudor is using their caliber T601, which is going to be probably a Solita. I know some of it's ETA, but most I think now in these is the Solita with a 38-hour power reserve. Whereas with the Omega, you're getting the Master Chronometer, exhibition case back, Cal 88 with 55 hours of power reserve. So kind of two different price points, and I think really when you get into the movements is where that's showing up. Additionally, you know, looking at them aesthetically, you got the Roman numerals on the dial, you have the Romans on the bezel here. So I mean, you have Romans on both. Obviously, you have a notched style bezel with both brushed and polished surfaces versus all brushed here on the bezel except for the claws here on the Constellation. You know, a little bit of polishing on the sensors on both bracelets, but overall, kind of similar in design. What I will say, though, is on the Omega, you are dealing with, or not dealing, you are looking at 18 karat white gold markers on the hour indices and the hands as well as the star. So a little bit, you know, higher end finish on that. But looking at them both, I mean, I'd wear either one of these and be happy. I really would. So with that said, let me throw them both on wrist real quick. Again, the Tudor sits just a little bit flatter, and that's given the case width of only 10.7. So again, I have a 6 3/4 inch wrist. Just really pretty flush. It's flat. Feels great. I mean, the bracelet really drapes well. And we'll get the Omega on quick. Omega definitely feels a little bit heavier on wrist as well. I'm sure that's due to the bracelet being a little bit thicker. So let me know which one you guys like. You know, if you have an integrated bracelet, what are your thoughts on it? I'm a huge fan. I like both of these quite a bit, and could definitely wear either one of these. So thanks for watching. I will catch you guys in the next video.